My first tattoo is
in an area.
boob.
Right. Would you rather not show it?
No, I can show it. That's my tattoo. It's a very, very, very Ashfordian bird rose, which is so classy.
Well, basically, I mean, for me, I design a lot of stuff, so it's down to just wanting my work on myself more than anything.
The first tattoo I had was the day I turned 18.
Yeah.
I got my 7 stars on my wrist, going round.
Okay, this is my first tattoo, as you can see here. It's
yeah.
a tribal definition of the devil.
My first tattoo that I got was this tattoo. It started off as just the dragon, and then a couple of years later I got the rest of it added.
First one was this one.
Okay. What attracted you to that then?
I just like the pattern.
The first one was
that is
the
cool.
little yin-yang in there.
Right.
My first one is here.
18.
It was of a fairy, and my best friend and I, we both got tattoos. It was a friendship thing.
The first tattoo was actually on my back. I got it a week after I turned 18. And it's basically, I'll explain it because I'm also wearing a dress, I can't really show you.
Okay.
It's basically a blacked out horse head with a mohawk and a phoenix body holding a timer and a stopwatch.
My first tattoo is on my back.
Are you willing to show us?
I can.
Blimey.
This one.
Ah, what does it say?
It's supposed to say my surname.
Airy. Yeah.
Yep.
The 4-leaf clover sort of thing. It's, that came from my granddad's trumpet case. It's on I think it was a playing card or a flyer thing. I always remembered it.
I was with a guy in Australia who he wasn't great. Like, we lived quite a strange lifestyle, living in a tent and stuff.
You lived in Australia?
Lived in Australia, yeah. He was quite controlling, it was a bit weird, like growing up in cult and stuff. And then one day he woke up and was like, "Oh, you're the Ace of Spades" to me. And I was like, okay, you know, what does that mean? And found out like the Ace of Spades represents death, which obviously made me feel really bad for quite a while, and like the weird situation I was in. And then this relation ended, and I came home and looked up the real meaning of the Ace of Spades. It actually means new spiritual beginnings. So, you know, it was like this new part of my life, and that made me feel like renewed confidence and stuff. So I got the Ace of Spades with a heart behind, which was, you know, sort of fuck you to him, because it was...
My first tattoo was a scorpion on my arm, just a little one.
Are we able to see it?
Yeah, this one in here.
Oh my goodness.
I'm 28 in December. This would have been when I was just gone 18, about a month into being 18. So I've had this one nearly 10 years. Okay,
that's quite interesting. A dragon. Can't seem to focus on it for some reason.
I like stars in general. It seems like a lot of people do these days. You see more and more of them all the time. It was kind of more just to be as a filler, and it's still not finished.
First tattoo was this little spider here.
Okay.
Wasn't the one I wanted. I wanted that, to be honest. But
very different.
Yeah. I was at a festival, Reading Festival, 94. Right. No, 95 it was. Reading 95, and we went into the town. I thought I'd see if I could get away past off as 18, and I did. And that was the one I could afford. It was only 15 quid at the time.
My first tattoo was by my good friend Dave Foxley, and he was training to be a tattooist, and he sat around with all of us mates and said, "Who's going to let me borrow their body to tattoo?" And I was the only one foolish enough to put my hand up and say, "Yeah, let's do this." And he done a great big piece of kind of jazz art tribal down here, suggested by a guy that was teaching him, and it came out very well for a first tattoo. And but we did eventually cover over it with his first cover up, so you can't actually see the original first tattoo he done. My first tattoo is on my arm there.
Which one?
This line of what looks like symbols
Kanji.
here.
Yeah.
It's actually English. It spells out Phoebe, which is Phoebe, which is my daughter's name. And I didn't want it to be immediately legible.
Right.
I wanted it to look like it was some kind of symbols that nobody would know what it meant.
Okay.
But really, it's just my daughter's name. So that was my first tattoo when I was 21.
Well, my first tattoo was a bit silly. I got it done when I was 18. I got it done like in Freshers Week at uni, and it was like me and my best mate, kind of Freshers Week, we'll be like best friends, let's get tattoos. I just got a heart on my hip.
Okay.
But it's kind of ruined a bit because I've got 2 little boys now, so obviously ruined. But I'm going to get it redone.
Meaning-wise, I mean, it's all based around stuff at the time which I'm quite into, so knowledge and geometry and...
Geometry?
Yeah.
What's this?
Well, that's sort of like an impossible cube sort of
Ah, this is like MCS, is it?
Yeah, something like that, man.
Oh, they represent my 7 brothers and sisters.
Ah, okay.
Well,
the 7 stars.
Yeah, well, I've got 6 brothers and sisters. So, it's like my older sister, and there's me, there's Adam, and there's Joe, and there's Saskia, Max, and Jack.
Very generic kind of black art tattoo that I got when I was 19.
Okay.
Had just come to Canterbury and wanted some tribally work done, but couldn't find anything I liked, and this was kind of the closest.
This is my second tattoo.
The Chaucer cross, yeah?
Yeah, it's a Canterbury cross, or the Chaucer cross as well. It's got a lot of sentimental value. My mum died before I was a year old, and one of the symbols she was very fond of was the Canterbury cross. The only thing I ever had that reminded me of that was a ring that I got given, a silver ring of the Canterbury cross, which I got lost in my adolescence. So I thought I'd get a Canterbury cross, partly in memory of her, and partly because it's a lot better than getting your postcode or something, because obviously I'm from Canterbury, I'm a resident.
It says, heart will die, soul will fly, and I will live forever. Now, those are Iron Maiden lyrics.
Right.
As I was younger, Iron Maiden was always a band I loved, and those lyrics I feel also have a second meaning as to it's the idea of the body not being the end of it. You know, the idea that after the body dies, there's something else left over that goes on, and I think that's kind of like one of my life mottos.
Excellent.
Second one was this one, which is shit. Basically, hate this entire arm. Every bit of work which has been done by a complete dick. Whereas this one was done by somebody who's actually quite skilled.
So what's wrong with your left arm?
Basically, I want to try a sleeve done, and the bloke who designed this just wasn't on the game at all, so he just kind of rushed it as fast as he could and balls it up. So like 6 years later, every time I looked at it I was like, for fuck's sake.
They translate into freedom, beauty, truth and love.
Wow.
The 4 Bohemian ideals.
My second one is hidden now. It's under this.
Oh wow.
It was a sign, a Japanese, Chinese symbol for courage, and it was hidden under this.
So why did you cover it up?
Originally it was going to be a band. It was going to like say some words and things like it's like to do with some important things that are important in life to have on the way around. And it was going to go all the way around, but I changed it about 10 years later or so. I didn't get it changed, and I saw this, and I wanted this over it.
A skeleton on my side that needs to be finished. It will be a mermaid skeleton.
A mermaid skeleton?
It's a It's like an anatomically correct mermaid skeleton, which kind of represents my duality of fantasy and fact. Because I'm a big scientist, so the idea of having an anatomically correct mermaid kind of represents the science and the fantasy aspect.
It says ordo, which is order for Latin for order, and then 26.
Why?
It's a chapter in Dante's Inferno, which is the 26th chapter, is about the circle of fraudulent counsellors in hell.
And since then, I went on the spontaneity rocks. I went for another one here.
Okay.
And that one,
look at that one.
that one was to prove. That one was to prove I was hardcore.
Oh, it's like hardcore till I die, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice one.
And the funny thing is, I moved, so it's got a little flick. And the tattooist told me off.
I started doing some on myself. Yeah.
You'll
The best way to learn is to tattoo yourself on your own arm. The first bit I actually did was the Lego man, and I was shitting myself when I was doing it. But I actually had to sit with it stretched like that and actually work myself doing it to learn how deep to go in that. You can see certain parts of the lines are wonky and it's scarred, and it means more to me that it has like those little imperfections.
I guess I kind of had it so that I didn't have to have things like mum or dad or brother's names as such. It was more get every single one of them out of the way with one word, rather than, like, I mean, you see people going around, they've got a tattoo that says mum or one that says dad. I didn't want random stamps all over the place, and also it was within that one word everything that is me. So,
okay.
Me, it's my surname, it's who I am, it's my identity, it's who I'm known by.
And the story from that, the story from this is, well, basically, me and my best friend, wicked, we are wives, ladies, we are wives, she is nice, and I love her a lot, she's a good girl, heart of gold.
I've now got, I'll show you, I've got Egyptian cats.
Cats with wings?
Cats
No
with
less.
wings, which isn't actually the usual representation of it. It's the Egyptian god Bath, which is obviously there's a massive appreciation of cats in Egypt, in Egyptian god Bath, who, I don't know, I've always had a real interest in Egyptiology and stuff, and cats, half my cat, and always been really fascinated with that.
Yeah, just like scorpions really at the time, but then I did look into it because people kept asking me, are you a scorpion? I thought it was a Virgo going by what the papers say and stuff, so I looked into it and apparently I am a Scorpio, apparently, which is quite strange.
The next one, somewhat tragically actually, was this one on my wrist, underneath my festival bands.
What does that see?
This is an E and an M, which is in kind of medieval script.
Yep.
Basically, as it happens, the person that this unfortunately represents, who was a friend of mine who passed away, she was tragically run over by a bus about 3 or 4 months after I got that tattoo done, and she was with me when I got that first one done. Like, she sort of made me go into the tattoo place and do it rather than just thinking about it. And she was like another best friend of mine at the time. She was run over by a bus and killed instantly, so I went with her sister the following week. And this is, her sister got the name done, I got the initials done, and that EM stands for Emily Maguire. And the reason it's in medieval script is because she had a big fascination with medieval history, so yeah, that's the reason for that one.
I returned the next year to the same tattooist, and I got, which leg is it on? And I got that.
On the back?
Yeah.
What is that? It's like a bat, like a weave bat sort of thing.
Yeah. That was actually used as a logo for my band I was in at the time.
You can see, the lines underneath and stuff, so... But I mean, my eventual plan for this is, because it's nice, it's got sentimental value, it's the first one that Dave done. But I've started getting the Japanese piece down here, which was also worked by Dave. And there's a lot more meaning to this, and this was kind of in haste. I was quite young, and Dave was learning himself. And so eventually I'd like to, when the equipment's there, to get this lasered off clear enough, and when it's cheap enough, and then I'm probably going to carry on with a Japanese piece all the way up here.
I'm planning on down there in full chest, back at head.
I started tattooing myself.
You're still a tattoo artist now?
I'm a tattoo artist now, but at the time I wasn't. I had a little kit that I was just tattooing on my legs because I wanted to be a tattoo artist.
Right.
So I was just practicing on myself. and a few of my close friends, and then I got my apprenticeship, and now I'm fully qualified and working in a studio.
I've got, that's my star sign.
Really? What sort of language is that?
I know, it's kind of the wrong way round.
But
it's Taurus.
Oh, is it? Okay, like a bull, I see.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, that's
yes.
cool.
Amore, love.
Yeah.
Italian. I've got fallen angel. Love is written like that on me because so many times in my life I've just been hurt, and it's kind of like, you know, when you've been hurt so many times, it's kind of in you, so it's like engraved into you. So that's kind of why.
So it's like broken.
Pretty much, yeah. It's all work in progress, really. That is the like key to my heart. It's all going to be metally and like in my, that hurts so much there. A little key. That is going to be a stopwatch. Instead of 1 to 12, it says don't look back.
It's just stuff I find interesting for design.
So you designed all this, but you obviously didn't do it yourself, right? You didn't.
Yeah. I mean, I designed these bits. Doodling Margate did that bit. Dan Fry collaborated that one with a girl called Amy.
So I got W there.
Why?
It stands for wifey.
Wifey?
Yes, there is another lady with the same tattoo on the
okay.
opposite, and so it's representing, like, it just represents a very good time in our friendship, or in our life, really. Like, we were very close. We had each other's backs, and it's just it's a representation of what good friends we were, and how we'd be together. We'd have each other's backs, really, and then.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
This fella here. Oh, this fella.
My goodness.
Yeah. Okay.
What is this? Oh, okay.
That's a lovely piece done by my friend Eddie.
I love them, I think they're great. The body's a canvas. I think our generation has kind of very much seen that with piercings, tattoos, things like that. My parents and a lot of people older wouldn't necessarily agree with me. But I think it's your body, do what you want with it. And some tattoos are absolutely stunning. They can really follow the lines of the body and look fantastic, especially if there's a bit of a story to it as well.
It's George Bush sitting on an oil drum, and he's injecting himself with crude oil, as you can see. This is symbolic of society's addiction to petroleum. Ironically enough, it's also made out of petroleum-devised ink, as all tattoos are. So
wow, okay.
A bit of irony for you there. It's symbolic against our addiction to petroleum, but you need petroleum to have it.
There we are. That was my next one. It's my Jabberwock.
What is that?
It's the Jabberwocky from Alice Through the Looking Glass. It's quite a famous poem that begins, "'Twas brillig and the slithy toves." It's kind of a nonsense poem made up of nonsensical words, but it's from my favourite book, and it's also my favourite poem.
Okay, so another sort of Celtic weave sort of thing.
Indeed.
Is that what you call it?
Yeah.
So
my Batman sign.
Right, okay, sort of a bat symbol, yeah. So there's no real reason why you had the specific images that you had.
None at all.
You're just attracted to the idea of tattoos.
Yeah, I think at the time when I got it, there was no tattoos kind of on my friends with one, so I was the first one to get it because I set a trend.
Do you have any more?
Yeah. It's a sign of Horus.
Ah, that's Egyptian.
Yeah. It's a sun god.
That is, it is, yes. I know all about that, actually.
On the back.
That is cool. Any particular reason why you'd have the sun on your back?
There? Actually, somebody else chose it to go there. It was one of my old partners. I had the sun, she had the moon. We had the two eyes on the back up here. It was meant to be an important place to have it up here. She was into witchcraft and all that. But,
right.
I've never found the symbolisms for it on the back there, so if you find out, tell me. But Horus, I always wanted the sun. The sun was very important to me anyway.
So I've got a purple heart. I think here, but it's not that great. I've realised years ago. It's not that great. That was also to support Eddie.
Well, I knew straight away from when I was about 16 that I really wanted to be completely covered in tattoos, and my views on tattoos have completely changed in those few years so much, especially the fact that I'm actually training to be a tattooist. The way I look at people, because also the fact that I've been doing artwork since I was like 12, 13, doing commissioned work. I always try and do something for me, like it's special to me. So when someone comes in and asks for a tattoo, I try and make them realise that they're going to have that on their skin forever, and it has to mean something.
Okay, can we have a quick look at that?
Yeah.
That's pretty spectacular.
Yeah.
It's very sort of oriental looking, Chinese maybe.
It was one of my own designs.
Okay.
But it wasn't ever done to look how I wanted it to look.
It looks like only the head has a bit of red in it. Is that right?
The thing is, it's unfinished.
Oh, okay.
It's not finished at the moment because the guy that trained me, I kind of got him to redo it and try to get it finished off for me and everything, but we didn't get to properly finishing it yet, so...
Okay.
Yeah.
So when did you have that then?
I think I was 15.
And this is Robert Johnson, the
very clear,
the iconic blues musicians from the 20s. Wrote Sweet Home Chicago and many of the old blues classics.
Guitar player Steve Clark from Def Leppard.
Not my favourite blues musician, but the image is so iconic of blues music.
You should never, ever, ever let loose on a tattoo gun, because this happens. Right.
Ah!
Right.
There's more.
There's more.
Oh wow.
My left leg. Left leg. Never going to do right.
If you can get that one. A rose? Yes, the England rugby rose, because we won the World Cup in 2003.
Oh.
So simple as that. One day I want it to be a centrepiece of a bigger design, but yeah, obviously a big rugby fan, so, you know, we've only won the World Cup once, so I thought I'd get it tattooed on my leg.
Yeah, I lived in a place, well, this small town I lived in, it was just, you could do that there.
Okay.
Yeah, so I got that done. I massively regretted it. I mean...
Come on then, let's have a look.
Oh, okay. Oh dear. There you go.
What's wrong with that?
Oh, it's terrible, Marty. Come
Why?
on, it has no deeper meaning except the fact that I went into the place really nervous and was like, oh, I'll have that butterfly with those tribal bits around, and oh, I'm definitely 18. And
Yeah, lucky number. Yeah, I just thought it'd look weird with a 7, so I put a 0 in front of it. Yeah, and there's also a bit of a controversial piece.
Okay.
In the sense of that.
Christ and the devil in
Christ
one.
and the devil. Yeah, I mean, I've got different ways of thinking now, but back then.
It's kind of like a yin yang, isn't it?
Yeah. Everything in duality and good, bad, this, that, and the other. And I've always liked the shape of a cross. I don't really like what it represents. But yeah, so I thought it'd be fun to get a cross.
These aren't finished. This is just the line work. So this one's been coloured and shaded. Whereas these have all just been lined. I mean, we've got Sammy Sam, and then it was always meant as a finish the piece off kind of thing. I've got the 5 aliens from Space Jam.
I used to listen to a lot of metal, but I've got like I say, I was quite young when I got all the dark stuff done, and it kind of covers up the more visible parts of the body. But my actual body is covered in different kind of pieces. I've got this guitar here was a piece by Dave Fox's apprentice at the time, Stuart Pagdim, who's now a world-renowned travelling tattooer. He's living in Australia at the moment. We never got this one finished in the end. It was quite a long piece, but we ended up going into other pieces.
Okay.
Got
the Flower of Life.
Flower of Life, yeah. It's sacred geometry. I'm a big fan of that, and
really
what
interesting
it means and stuff. I've got my I Ching here, which this is the I Ching symbol for humility.
Okay.
You look in the mirror every morning and reminds yourself to try and be humble. So, and then up the top here, you can't really see it too well. I've got Jimi Hendrix lyrics. I stand on top of the mountain. I cut it down with the edge of my hand.
Is it backwards?
And it's backwards.
Why is it? Oh, so you can read it in the mirror.
When I got it done, I was living in a house, and it was just had a mirror at that kind of chest level, and I kind of thought it's something I want to see every morning.
No matter how much we try to change it, life will one day become death.
He done this, the top part he done about 10 years ago, and we finished it about 8 years ago, so it's a really old piece. And this was actually before he'd established the grey style he's got now. So it's quite an old school piece of his.
That's unfinished as well.
I just wanted to be tattooed all the time.
Going back some time.
That one's pretty interesting. Where the other one was.
That one?
Underneath.
Oh, that one.
It looks like it's like chemical.
It's the chemical structure, yeah.
Of what?
THC.
Ah, is that right?
Yeah.
Law-abiding citizen, yeah?
A lot of it's just quite simply artwork. Like my hands, these two here are literally just artwork.
Completely different, yeah.
Yeah, and it's just a contrast of colour on one side, black and grey on the other. I suppose you could look into it, and that could be life and death with those two. So you've got a skull, and then you've got a woman.
But that wasn't necessarily what you thought when you were doing it.
No, it wasn't the original intention, but you know, you can find meanings in them, I suppose.
I had my neck done.
What you got on your neck? Like a king. No, it's like you're a robot underneath.
Yeah, that's right. I'm spine.
That's kind of cool. You're a Terminator.
Yeah.
There's like a bit of a lifeline thing going on this arm, which is purely artistic, from the cradle to the grave in an hourglass, which is going to be written as well.
Wow.
But it doesn't mean anything to me personally, but as a piece of artwork, it's been inspired by other pieces that have the same meaning behind them. This is melodious, wise, and love.
And this is all Alice in Wonderland and Alice Through the Looking Glass.
That's my great granddad.
I was 18 years old and I was taking lots of LSD at the time, just having fun with mates, and it was an acronym for LSD that I came up with whilst tripping. I wouldn't ever tell someone to get tattooed or anything like that, so...
Because it's personal choice, huh?
Yeah, exactly. So it's just my personal choice, I think, at the end of the day.
I know I went and got that when I was 15 because I thought it was really cool, and I was really proud of it at the time. And now I think it's a bit cheesy and a bit tacky.
Is that it? Is that?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Just the same way that, you know, someone might buy an expensive coat to be seen in it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a personal joy for myself, and it's something that makes me happier in myself, but it's something that, you know, I also like other people to see, because it expresses who I am.
No matter how much I stand up for myself and try and say to them, in the end I've done it now and it's my body, they still nag and nag and nag. And it's I almost view it as a kind of racism in some way.
If you've got something you'd like,
yeah,
I would recommend rushing out and get one just to take a game on. But if you find an image you're quite happy with, definitely go for it.
Well, if you fucking love it and you know you want it, have it done. But you know, just be careful. Like, don't get your hands in your face on your first tattoo. But no, it's like if you really think that you want to decorate your body with something that you really believe in, and you want to show your loyalty to something, or you know, or you just purely want to make yourself look and feel better about yourself, then yeah, by all fucking means.
You're wondering about getting a tattoo, decide what you want. Don't do what I done, go to a catalogue and choose somewhere conspicuous, back at your shoulder, on your leg, wherever, and yeah, just listen to the tattooist and trust that they know best, and yeah, hopefully you'll like it at the end of it.
Make sure you know what you're doing, make sure you've thought it through, make sure, yeah, it's meaningful, and you have some kind of a connection with the person that's doing it to you.
Don't do it, kids.
I was obviously tattooing myself a lot at home. I wouldn't do it now. I wouldn't recommend it to anybody.
Don't be afraid to get a tattoo that you really want done. As long as you really want a tattoo, you should get it done, because they last forever and they're really meaningful, and sometimes people think too much and don't end up getting the work done.
You know, you can donate your skin as an organ for organ donor for like burn victims and things.
Right.
I'd love to donate my skin. I just love the idea of someone after I've died still wearing my tattoos. I think that's great.
tattoos, they're great, but think about it. Definitely.
Excellent. All right.
Just don't ever do anything you'll regret, because I got my stars done and looking back I was thinking, what an idiot, and now I've got them touched up, and because they were touched up it hurt even more, so don't do it.